Most High, we love to praise your name. High, praise your name. Uh-oh, you are here on time. Give me a break to just enjoy it. My guest is here already. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome to another Saturday. I'm extra specially happy today. I got my girls came to spend, I think, most of the day. We started with brunch, and I think it was up to just a couple of hours ago. No, about 30 minutes ago that they left. And it was so much fun. I mean, these are friends that I've had for 30 plus years. We don't get to see each other often, but when we do, we make the most of it. And it just made me so much value real good friendships. It's not about the longevity. So even sometimes, it's not even how long, but how well. And you don't always get to see each other, but kind of make me extra happy today. And today we are going to be talking as well. We're still continuing this month. It's a month for the men, and the focus is on the men and hearing them, listening to what they have to say about their health, wealth, relationship, and relating. And today I've got a friend. Oh God, I'm just giving you guys a heads up now. I can't even remember. I've got notes, and I'm just going to chuck my notes, because once you hang out with Coach AAA, anything can happen. So he is going to be on with us in a few minutes. I see you. You have been the most on-time guest I've had ever. You actually got here before me. So without much ado, I'll just type in today's topic. And she earns more. Give up the name of Jesus. You're not even giving me a time to dance. I want to dance today. Coach AAA, you can't be this early. Sorry, I've got a boogie. Come on, guys, everybody. While we get people in, we got to praise your name. We love to, we love to praise your name. We love to praise your name. Lift up the name of Jesus, Hi, Dami. That Dami Adedeji is in the house. Hi, sis. Hi, Yinka. Yinks65. Hello. We'll be on in 2 minutes. I just needed to get this dance out of my body first. Are you dancing? Hey. Oh, yeah, dancing. Come on now. Are you dancing? Are you dancing? All right. Enough silliness. We've warmed up. Let me get Coach AAA in here. Yeah. Hey.
That's Salomon.
This is all your fault. This is your effect. You see?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because my earbuds, it's acting up today, so I couldn't use them. So
No problem.
great.
Hello.
Dan
Hello.
Salomon.
Dan Salomon. Hey.
Girl.
Gang.
You look good.
We're trying.
I love the hair.
We have to try
I
something.
love what you do.
Happy International Men's Day.
Thank you very much.
Hello today.
I didn't even know there was one. Funny reason. I'm like, yeah, there's an International Men's Day. I thought it was the only thing we get celebrated for was Father's Day, and that one day in the year, and that's it. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. At least they think about us.
We do remember you.
Seems like all the days is women's mothers, women's day, girl child day. I'm like,
that
we are
is
feeling
why.
marginalized on this earth.
No. We appreciate you. We appreciate the men. We appreciate them. That's why I took out this month. Coincidentally, I didn't know this month.
Oh, you didn't know. You didn't know.
Did not
right?
know.
Cool.
I
so
actually
even I
did
didn't
not
know there was an international men's day.
I thought I missed it. I thought it was October.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I had missed it, and I just thought, because I was supposed to do this in October, because I thought it was in October.
Yeah, I know we had
and then we had that conversation, and then it didn't happen. So when I saw it yesterday, I was like, oh, that is just so timely, because this month we've spoken about mental health. Yeah. We've spoken about, just having a healthy life, living well, men being able to come to spaces where they can talk and they can be free to be vulnerable.
Very essential.
And to be vulnerable. So today, it'd be good to talk about, other things. I would like to know how men relate, how they think. You say you've marginalized. I know you haven't.
No.
This is just
being naughty.
I know. Let me just give everybody a heads up. When I and Alex hang out, Lord have mercy. Whatever happens today, just get it in mind. We do love each other. He's still my brother. No problem. But we will fight. We will fight. We will argue.
The way I posted it on my page was, I'm hanging out with my sweetheart. So
can you imagine?
Most people who know me, when I use that term sweetheart for someone, that person is very close to me. We share a lot of ideas, and we also disagree. And this is my padisha, long and short.
There you go. So that's your personal, as my people in the Delta in the Delta will say. So today we're actually talking about women that earn more than men. How do men? How it's not actually women that earn more than. We're talking about men that their partners earn more than them. Okay. So the focus is on the man.
Yeah.
So basically, how many people have found that there's a struggle with that, and
rightly
so. some culture. You see, you started rightly so. Rightly so. It's okay. Let's be professional. Let us be professional. We're trying in this art space. Let's just try.
To stay you.
And there's some cultures. There are actually some cultures that discourage women earning. Say things like, oh, you shouldn't buy your own house before you're married. You shouldn't own property before you're married. That's just going to hinder a man coming to you. But so now, tell me, what is this reason? Did you notice I had my professional voice out there? Not my, how dare you say that kind of voice.
No, you didn't get it. Now, let me tell you something you don't know. See, in my line of work as a coach, psychologist, all this stuff, I've learned to
pause.
hold
on. No, you can't say anything. My show, my rule.
No, let me say
my
something
show,
to you.
my show.
Let me show you what I'm doing now. Let me tell you what I'm doing.
Okay, go on.
I want to give you inside trick. Inside trick. Inside trade secret.
I want you to introduce yourself. You haven't introduced yourself. You see how you just come into my show and discombobulate everything. There's a process. We do things well in here. Behave yourself.
We're not fighting now.
Behave yourself. Before you say anything, please let the people. That's why I want the people to know who I'm talking to now. Me too. I want to do shakara that I know people.
Yeah, they will know in a minute. But I was just going to tell you that what I was doing to you. So basically, when you're having conversation with someone and you're trying to understand what the person thinks, or how the person perceives, or what are their pet peeves and all this stuff, I've learned to always not shy away from poking them. So it's a bit of psychological poke. So I give you a psychological poke and see how you react. It's not because of anything. I'm just trying to see how you react and see where your mind is at. And then I know how then to be able to manage it from there on.
My mind is in the middle. My mind is in
see the look on your face when I said she was like, that is, that split second, it could tell me you were saying, Angie, calm down. Let's be professional about this for now. Angie, let's be professional. Don't let him just calm down.
They shouldn't see how we talk to each other off the screen. Let's behave ourselves accordingly.
So as far as I'm concerned right now, I'm at that stage where I'm me anywhere I go, man.
And that is what I love about you.
It's fun to hang out with you. And
Definitely.
This is a hangout. This is not a teaching moment. I'm not here to teach anyone. This is just us.
But you can't help. But people can't help but learn. And
we all learn from
we're all learning.
That's the thing. We all learn from conversation.
Introduce yourself, Mr. Alex.
Yes, my name is Alex Ade Adefemi. They call me Coach Triple A. I am executive, business, and life coach, as well as a leadership coach. So basically, I focus on working with top leaders and business owners, helping them be able to build high-performing teams, able to develop their own successful leadership personalities, and then be able to live a life they truly enjoy. So my work is in those three areas. I focus on those three areas: help you build high-performing teams, help you build well-respected leadership personalities, as well as a life you can truly enjoy. And I think that's what most top leaders in organizations and business owners are really looking for. So that's basically what I am. I'm an executive business and leadership coach, and it is a pleasure to be here. So I don't want to start adding on my resume of I have this, I have that. I have plenty. I'm an Ekiti man. So in Ekiti, you know anything about us, we like to go to school. We like to get certificates. So I have plenty. I have NLP. I have
name it.
I have freedom technique, therapy. I have matrix imprinting therapy. I have it's plenty.
All right, it's enough. We only have 1 hour, please.
Yeah. You asked.
Only one. It's okay.
I was going to skip it, but you asked me to do it.
No, but I did want you to introduce yourself and let people know who you are. I know who you are, and I want people to get to know you.
About my personality, I would say I'm very fun, friendly. I'm very. I like to hit the point. Hit the point, be authoritative what I'm saying, but at the same time, I like to be fun and have a good time. And then when I'm hanging out with my pals like Angie, it's just fun 2.0. So you're just going to enjoy yourself. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have some takeaways. That's basically
definitely. And I think I hung out with my friends from over 30 years today. We had brunch and so wow. I think that had just kicked in the vibe. So if you notice, I came in with an extra dance and an extra bounce today. So it was cool.
I hung out with my friends over 30 years. I'm looking at people under 10 years old.
I know, you're a very young man. It's true. You're a baby.
No, I'm just saying. And that means if over 30 years, that means your friends you were friends when you were in your 20s or something, maybe?
I am not answering that question for you. Please continue. Moving
over. I was
just
thinking about me. That's what I was just thinking about me.
Keep. I will allow you to do the math. For our non-Nigerian speaking friends, he had just told you that he was a. How do you translate Agbaya in English?
Agbaya is, I don't know. he's an older person that doesn't respect himself.
Honestly, he's an older person that has no respect for himself. There you go. You said it, I didn't. So
you asked me to translate, and I was translating what it means.
We need to make sure that our non-Nigerians and non-Yoruba speaking people understood. Yes, I'm considerate like that.
Yes, we're also trying to Nigerianize the world. The world needs to be Nigerian.
We're getting there. So tell me, what is from the perspective of a man that is dating a relationship, married to a woman that is earning more than he is? Let's start from dating. Why do men find it difficult to date women that are some men? Let's not speak about everybody.
Yeah,
there's some men that find it a challenge, even approaching a woman that is, more advanced with them in finance or in position or whatever like that. Why?
So basically, for me, first of all, I think I want to talk about. When you gave me that topic, and I was thinking about it. The first thing that came to my mind is to add something to the topic. So more like a rider to the topic. You could say she earns more. And what came to my mind is Anso. So she had to
Remember,
know.
you're representing the men here. And remember, this month is all about hearing from you.
Wait.
So,
Am I supposed to be representing, like speaking in favor of the men, or I'm just supposed to speak
we just
my
want to
truth?
know, we want to know your truth as a man, and some men that you have hung around with. Hopefully you have other male friends, and hopefully you all, have conversations. You've had a life.
I have.
Just
Hopefully, I have other male friends. I have male friends.
it's a question. It's only a question.
Because you're
You
trying to
know,
say that all I have is female friends.
I said nothing. You put yourself in that. So that's why I want to say, so that you can help us with that perspective. It's good to hear from another man.
Yeah.
I know you're not speaking for all men, and you're going to speak what you know and how.
All men. I'm not all
You
men.
can't. It's not possible. But at least let's have some sort of, idea.
Yes.
Why is it such a struggle?
So basically, I think it's a societal thing. It starts from the society. Who men become and who women become, or how women are perceived and how men are perceived, has largely to do with the society. And there are some things that are peculiar to different countries and different cultures, and some things you find that are quite universal. So this conversation now can be, to a large extent, to be quite universal. Now, I live in Canada. I used to live in Nigeria. And I realized that it's not much of, among my white friends and other friends of other races, it's not much of a big problem as it is with my guys who are Nigerians and we're from Nigerian background. They all grew up in Nigeria. Not because the men too don't provide, but the culture has been a bit more equalized in some ways. And then so you find out that the men don't necessarily gain their identity from how much they're bringing in putting on the table, how much money they're bringing into the family or into the home or into the relationship. However, if we're talking about us as Black men, as African men, from that perspective, I would say that I think from the onset, the society already has put the responsibility on men to be the provider, the sole provider. Let me not even say to be the provider. The ideal African man is supposed to be a sole provider.
I'm going to interject there.
Yes,
please. It is not just an African man mentality. I think it's a male thing. Most male on the run have that mentality of being a male means being strong, means being the ability to be the provider. In one level or the other. I think maybe in an African or a Black setting is more polarized. It's more, there's more of a spotlight on it. But I really believe that is a very general mindset. Really.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm going to allow you continue.
I would say, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, I have seen that in modern times, especially in maybe I'm talking about a white person, for instance, you find out that they're in a relationship and it's not a big deal that he's not providing. It's not a big deal for him. She's providing, something works.
So paint a picture. And let's start off from secondary school, from university.
Yes.
And you're dating a girl that maybe comes from a richer background or has some extra funds.
Yeah.
Is there a challenge then in that kind of situation? Should that be a challenge? Why should women dumb themselves down? Why should women not be proud or we're comfortable with the fact that she's earning more? Why should the fact that she's earning more be a hindrance to having a conversation with her? We remember, I think this topic came up, we were talking about some mutual friends of ours, and we couldn't understand why they were single, intelligent, bright, hardworking, that owned their businesses. And we just couldn't understand. And we said, so why are they single?
Yeah.
And we boiled down to within their own circle, maybe there's nobody available within their circle. And I think we said, and one of the questions was like, so why don't you go out of your circle? Do you know what I mean? Why don't you go out of your your circle of maybe wealthy families or wealthy friends, and that's really what birthed this question, that why should the men feel like because she's earning more, that will be a challenge in the first place? Isn't it that we're talking about men's insecurities here, some men's insecurity? Isn't that really
I
the
wouldn't want
problem
us
that
to
we're
go.
talking about?
I want to take it step by step. So
Okay.
before we get to men's insecurities, I want us to just go through, and I like where you started, asking the lady out in the first place. Why can't guys just a lady seems to be holding her own? And then maybe even maybe she take, for instance, she's using a better car than the guy. Maybe she has a car and the guy doesn't have a car. And the guy just can't seem, oh, she's out of my league, kind of thing. Why? Because obviously he can't provide that, and so he instantly begins to feel insecure. And then begin to feel, okay, since I can't provide that, I might not be able to go ahead into a relationship with her unless I just want to use her and move on. If it was supposed to be a meaningful, relationship that leads to something, obviously I can't manage this. What she's already earning and where she's thinking financially, I probably am not thinking at that level. And it boils back down to what I was trying to explain earlier when I said that the challenge a lot of times is it starts with the society. The society has put so much attention or put so much focus on your ability to earn. 1, 2, it has also put the responsibility solely on the guy to be the one that provides. So take, for instance, even if she's earning the money, and this is two sides of the coin. So now the man feels that society puts it on him, and he himself has put it on himself to be the sole provider now. And then there's the other side of the coin. The woman also, a lot of women, let me put it that way, so I don't misfire. A lot of women in the society as well have also admitted to themselves that the man should be the one to provide her needs. Now, when that is the case, and then her needs are of a higher taste and a higher status level than what the guy can provide, and from afar he already sees that classic example, the car she's driving. He already sees that and says, oh, that is beyond my budget. I can't deal with that right now. So he instantly looks for somebody that he can. Now, because that focus is there, and because society has put that attention on that, a lot of other things ride on it quietly underneath. So it now boils into, by the time they're dating, and let's be honest here, I'm going to try and speak on as I see it on both sides as much as possible. You find that sometimes when the woman is the one providing, because society has put that pressure on her, and put it that the man should be the one providing. When the woman is the one providing, and she's making more money, or she's having to bring in more money in the home or in the relationship, you will notice that a lot of times you find out that a lot of women are less tolerant of their men. Because as far as she's concerned, she's doing what he should be doing. So she's feeling like, after all, he's the man, he should provide, and after all, and then anytime she does anything or she's upset about anything, the guy instantly begins to think that, oh, it's because I'm not making that much money, or she's making more money than me, that's why she's being rude, or she's talking to me anyhow, or she doesn't have respect for me. Blah, blah, blah.
We have a question that just came through. I want us to look at that.
Okay. So
I think Paco Don, do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Why do women feel? You want to read it?
Could you read it? If you could see it. So why do women feel that what they earn or worth financially has any bearing on getting a partner? It has any bearing on getting a partner, has no bearing whatsoever. Most men don't care about these things, more the person looking inward. You are a very Renaissance man, young man. It's all I can say. Most men, we're coming back to we're coming back to confidence. What do you have to say about that, Coach Triple A?
Now, don't worry, we have 1 hour, and we're going to touch most of these things. But my point is, I'm just going to try and touch it on the surface because we'll still go deeper as we go along. Now, the thing is that from my own experience and what I have seen coaching women, coaching men, and helping them through life and business and relationships, I find out that I don't necessarily think that okay, let me put it this way. It boils down to what I was saying earlier. Society is the reason for what we are seeing. Society has said men should be the sole provider, women should be taken care of by the men. Now, if the woman is of high taste on her own, has built a high taste and has built a high status for herself, or was born into high status, a guy who can, and the guy is supposed to provide for such, how will the guy who doesn't have the resources provide for such a woman? So instantly when he sees her, he needs to see that this is beyond my capacity. And then he moves away. Now, and that's because society has put that attention on it. So, and
what if she's not asking? What she's not asking him to provide for her, like we said.
Now that is a second. That is a second discussion. We're talking generally in most cases now. Now there are other different cases where you find that a woman saying, "Listen, no, you know what? I just want a man who will love me, and we can make things work together." Now that's a whole different discussion. We'll come to that discussion. But first of all, we're saying that this is a situation on ground that society has created. Now, that's the reason why men tend to be, when they see you from afar and see that, I'm on this one past my own. Once they see it from afar, they don't bother. They back out or they go another direction. Because also, and listen, I ran a relationship show on radio for about 6 to 8 years. I'm not sure the numbers now, but at least 6 years, right? And there were people who sent in different cases that we're dealing with on a weekly basis. And a lot of these cases were the same, where a situation whereby she's making more money, and then it's now beginning to cause issues in the relationship. So I'm not speaking from just thin air.
Why?
Why
should that cause a problem? Is the question we're asking.
Because so first things first, society. Second thing then you now look at is you look at the men. So I'll now put my scope now on the men, in the sense that we men sometimes we need to, how would I put this? We need to without hitting too hard at my fellow men, we need to work on ourselves. Let me put it that way. There's no way I can say without hitting too hard on giving us too much of a punch.
Work on yourselves in what way?
So I mean that we need to work on our self-esteem. We need to work on our self-worth and our self-value. Now, one of the things that is, whether you are male or female, in this time, you must be providing something. Whether you're in this time that we live in, unless maybe the guy is making so much and you don't want to work, and you both have an agreement, and the lady is not working and the guy is providing all of it. Even though in this time and age, it can still be risky, unless you are Dangote or you are a top multi-millionaire or multi-billionaire. Even in those cases, we've seen people like that completely crash. So it's still dangerous.
So that, because of that, sorry, you just said on that, I'm going to come back.
Yes.
We have seen people that have a lot of money and relationships still crash. So that means finances is not necessarily what should be the focus in a relationship.
Relationships
really?
is with, you're talking about two human beings. There are many things that are involved. You cannot make it, there's not one secret to a successful relationship.
In regards to earning is what I'm saying, right? In regards to finance. Okay. Do you understand? Because we're looking at the different things that have come up is because she's earning more. You're getting challenges in relationships. First of all, before we even get into relationship, the challenge in even somebody approaching you to date you is already feels like hurdles because of a perception, because you earn more than they do.
Yeah.
The major thing that's coming out here, because flip it the other way around, when a guy is earning more than the woman,
he's more attractive.
To whom?
To the women.
No, we're mixing the things up now. I'm going to come
No,
to
no,
that.
you're saying flip it, and I'm saying that if you flip it,
No,
when in most cases when she earns more, it looks as if she becomes less attractive. And then
yes,
if in the flip it, if the guy earns more, it looks as if he's more attractive.
absolutely. Both perceptions for me are wrong.
Yes, of course they
Really,
are. But
on
we're
both
talking
sides. Okay,
realities. Yeah.
realities. So both perceptions are wrong. So when that comes up, it's like you just make it feel like for a woman to achieve anything, and I still come back to it that you're not ready to touch on it. And I really feel that it has to be that because we're focusing on this particular thing, which is she earns more than him. Why should that be a problem to him? And like Pakadon said, more people, the more persons looking inwards. Some men don't care about those things.
Yes.
So the fact that some men do, what is the reason with those some men that have a problem with it? What would you say? Because it's definitely self-esteem. It has to be self-esteem issue.
Yes,
Because there's more to a relationship.
I didn't mention it
There's
earlier.
money.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
There's more to a relationship than how much money, finances you're bringing to the table. He might be, and this is why I talk about the self-esteem issues. Because think about it, she might be earning more than him, but he might have very good managerial skills, and maybe she might not be very good with her how much she earns. So why don't men look beyond that first hurdle and get to know the person? Don't you think?
I totally agree with you. Now, and we're talking about the proper way of doing things, but I wanted us to first of all, the approach should be to help someone solve a problem. You must first of all understand them, why they do what they do.
Yeah, thinking in the first place like that, yes.
But you first of all understand why they do what they do, and sometimes you need to empathize with them, why they do what they do, and then try and pull them out of what they're doing. So, and that's always been my approach, and that's why it looks as if first of all, it looks as if I'm supporting what they're saying. No.
I know you're going through. I like, yes. And I really appreciate the process that you're going through. Yes,
because
definitely.
It's necessary for them to understand that, okay, yes, this guy gets why things are like this, but then we can then talk about, okay, why it shouldn't be that way. So, so first things first, I think that for most men, this has been the wiring they've been given for all their life. We're talking about men in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s. And if you've been wired like this for 20 years, you're not just going to wake up and just change.
Unwire
the whole process, because that's what you understand. That's what has made sense around you. Making something that makes sense, that you have seen work. You've seen your father, your uncles, your grandfather. That's what has worked. The man is the provider. And then you don't go and marry a woman that is beyond what you can provide. So it will be disgraceful for you as a man. So when the woman is the one, say for instance, she's earning more and then you're not earning as much. So classic example. Let's say she works in a top multinational, and then she's growing in the multinational. And when you met her, you were a bank boy, and you were working as a cashier, and then maybe she came to do transaction there, and for some funny reasons, you had the confidence to even talk to her. You understand? And then, maybe there's a way a woman can give you signs and give you body language, like, go ahead, try your luck. You get it. And then you tried your luck, and then you guys made a relationship. And then it happens that maybe for some reasons he left the banking. I'm just trying to create a scenario. He left the banking. You guys got married. He left banking. He started to do his own business. And then, but his business is struggling and he's trying to find people. She continued on her career path in the multinational, and now she's a top manager or even a director. She's earning 6 to 7 figures. She's what's it called? She's right now her official car. She has a driver. She has a lot of things. Listen, what am I even saying? I have a classic example of a client that was the exact situation on ground, and the man was feeling very emasculated, And then we had coaching sessions that he paid for, that we sat down. It's even rare for men to come and say, I want coaching on how do I get my manhood back.
Who took his manhood from him?
Well, that was how he felt.
Why did he feel that way?
Well, because he felt, based on the situation on ground and what was going on with his wife and the family, and I can't go into the details. I'm just saying.
No. I was just being a bit, what you call it there, with those questions, because I'm thinking, at least he realized that the problem was him, not his partner, which is a good thing. Is what you're trying to say.
When we started the coaching program sessions, what I tried to help him do is he needed to find what he was saying his manhood about was basically he needed to find his self-confidence and self-esteem back, and his because listen, this is a reality. Society does a number on your brain. It's not just the man's brain, it's on the woman's brain as well. And the average woman out there that don't think like you, don't think like most of people probably watching right now. Their perspectives has been formed and tailored and shaped by the society that things must be this way. And so when it's not this way, it doesn't make sense, and they struggle because times are changing and there's need for a bit of adaptation, a bit of flexibility, and a bit of evolving. But evolving is difficult. It is very difficult. It's not that easy, because when we are formed in our ways, we are formed in our ways of doing things. To now say we should come, and then you're not a 10-year-old, you're not a 5-year-old that is still learning and is still forming. You are formed. Literally, you are formed and you are fully operational in the world. And any mature person knows that you're not fully formed. You should be constantly developing. Unless you're being late. Now that's interesting. But that perspective you just gave is another form. How do I mean? That is your formation. That you are constantly evolving, you're constantly learning. That is your formation. A lot of people's formation is not that way. A lot of people's formation is, I am formed in my way, in my path. And now this is the way I do things. Now, if we are going to, as we're going to help them see differently, I want us to, first of all, just what I was mentioning earlier, get a hang of where they are, so we can help them, take them from where they are to where they need to be.
So, but you agree that the major problem right now we're seeing is women that earn more than their partners. The major challenge the men are having is a self-esteem issue.
Yes,
we agree that
the major challenge is self-esteem issues. In some other cases, the women can be a bit of a handful, and it can be tough for them to deal with. And because they probably were not prepped, or because of, it's still the same thing. Society has wired them to think that as a man, you must be the alpha and omega of your home. They feel that once they're feeling like the alpha and omega of their home, there's something wrong, and that's wrong. That's the wrong mentality. But
today, I want to hear from the men. I want to hear the sound of the men. I want to hear what men are feeling. So men are feeling that some men are feeling emasculated with that.
A lot of them are dealing with that. A lot of them are dealing with the fact that, so I'll give you a classic example. I'll use my own experience for you. Personal experience. I hope my wife does not watch. I hear this. Now,
I'm waiting for more. I'm going to ping her in very soon. So you talk too much, I will report you.
When we got married, I think it was the first year of our marriage. And now, and I'm talking from my own learning now. And this is how I have evolved. I have grown from it, mind you. But I'm vulnerable enough to share with you that when I had this mindset, my wife has always been very good with numbers. I'm not too great with numbers. She organizes things. She's more organized than I am. Anybody that sees us will know that I'm the messy one. So when we got married, what happened was, when I was working then. When I get my salary, I just, take it, organize the finances and everything. This is it. I just transfer it to you, and you organize it, and this is how we. So I realized that when I need money, I'll say, sweetest, I need money for this. And she goes, why? What do you want to do with it? Okay, so first time, right? Okay, no problem. Okay, I have to explain myself and collect the money. Second time, explain myself and collect the money. Third time, by the fourth time, walk on. Who's working for this money? Is it me or you? I beg. I'm not giving you 20 again. I beg. What kind of thing is that? Why? And I'm being honest with you. I'm not, this is my learning. This is Alex Ade Adefemi speaking. This is not Coach Triple A at this point. I'm saying that as a man, as a married man, the lessons I've had to learn and how to evolve and grow through it. So I'm like, oh, no, I just took the money back and I didn't give out anymore. I started being the one to, then I felt more powerful. It's control. I have more control over this thing. But it was fake power. It was fake control. But I got to find out later that that thing is just fake, guy. that your power is fake power. But at that point, that's how I felt. Now, I don't want to come here and just come and talk as a coach and just talk above the head of men. I want you to let the men understand that I am one of you. I've been there. I've done that. I bought the friggin' t-shirt. But at the end of the day, it's still that we need to learn to evolve. Times have changed. And women are earning now. And in some cases, they're earning more. You need to be able to learn as a man to find out how to be able to be a man beyond financial situations. And that's where we are going. Because a lot of times, a lot of us struggle to be men when we are not in control of the finances, or when we are not when we don't have the financial power. We struggle to still be men.
Can I just throw something in there?
Yes.
I really appreciate what you're saying. But just something crossed my mind as you were speaking. I'm thinking, if some men are having the challenge that their partners are earning more than them, do they still remember that women are still earning half of what men are earning up to today? That's
a political discussion.
I know it's a political discussion.
That's a political
discussion. And we shall talk about that another time.
That's gender politics at play. No, I'm not
I just wanted to
gender politics.
I just want to chuck into that because but I'm doing this to buttress your point as well, yes. Or to not necessarily buttress it, but to put an angle to it. Okay. The whole point of this, and like you said, the culture and narratives need to be reviewed, yes. And reassessed based on what's going on. Yeah. Is one, women were not working for centuries ago. It was only one person. Yeah. So the men, and some people's political argument to why women get half of what men get is because they are not the head of the home. So they are given the one ridiculous. That is supposed to be looking after the home more.
That's really ridiculous. Now let me say
hold on. Because she's being looked after by him, whereas she's doing the same job. I know this is not the conversation we're having, but I have to throw this in here. So and I say that to highlight how, and this is not an insult, it's just a word to express how pathetic the mindset of some men would be when you have to think that I'm losing something of myself because one, I have to speak to somebody, or I can't even approach a lady because she's making more money than me.
No.
You know?
Yes.
Then I have another part to this.
Yes.
That falls as well in the same vein where some men cannot even take instructions from women. So they're not even comfortable to be in an organization where the woman is their lead. Yeah. And they have to take it. Yeah. So really and truly, there has to be a lot of conversations in how men are raised. Is what is really coming through. That the major problem to refix and restructure this thing is in how men are made, and men need to be informed correctly. That I know I'm a woman speaking here, but I have a son, I have brothers, I have had a father, so I have friends. And what I see is that men do need to be retrained. And this past month, we've been talking about the different varieties, and you did something today. You were vulnerable in your conversation. You're being vulnerable. You're being transparent. You're saying, look, I get it. This is where you're feeling. This is where I'm coming from. And I think more men need to go through that to the point where the gentleman said earlier on, Most men don't care. They just want to be happy. They just want to be with a partner that will make them happy. Is that not good enough?
Yeah. And listen, it's Pakudon is
What's that?
responding. He said, "Is it just men? Really, women are perfect?" I like that question, Pakudon.
I'm going to block him I'm going to block him in a minute.
You can't block him. He's unblockable. Now, let me say.
I'm afraid to add him on later on because, oh Lord, he's a dear friend too. Don't worry, but go on.
Fantastic. Now, first of all, I don't think that it is. I would take away a word from what you said, which is the word pathetic. Now, I don't think it's pathetic. I think it's human. And then just the same way, yes, we're talking about the men here, but it also shifts to the women, because the men find society has taught men. That's why I talked about society initially. That's why I was creating that foundation about society in the beginning. Society has taught men that their identity should be found in their provision, their ability to provide. Society has taught them that, right? And the same way society has taught women a different way, the identity will be found in the ability to keep a home. Now, see, women who do that and find the identity and ability to keep a home, I don't think to them that they're doing something wrong. I think that they can see more for them about themselves and see who they really are and see their possibilities and see who they are more. But at the same time, I also think that the same thing applies for the men. So that you see, your ability to be able to provide is part of who you are as a man. I consider myself a semi-traditional man, in the sense that I don't believe in every core thing about being, the male traditions, but I believe in a good number of them. But at the same time, I have evolved enough to understand that in the times that we live in now, there is a new demand on men, that men must learn to evolve and learn. Now, I moved over to Canada to live and work and run my business here in Canada. And I realized that it's been tougher for me compared to my wife.
Why?
She just adjusted. For the men, and I realized that I've had conversations with other immigrant men. It's the same situation. A lot of them are dealing with that. It's tougher because in Nigeria, in our different countries, India, China, it's a patriarchal society, highly patriarchal. So we are the boss. And then we get here and you're not the boss.
You're just another human being. There's no boss. You're just around.
No, there's a boss. Point of correction, there's a boss.
Who is the boss? Who's the boss?
You guys are the boss.
In what setting?
You guys are the boss. So as far as we're concerned, why? Because the society, the society and the laws, everything around here is designed to protect the women. That's the way I would put it. To protect, because a lot of men
except for give them equal pay with men.
Hold on.
Yes, go on.
Protect the women. And so as much as it is a woman who is with a man who is irresponsible, that needs the system to protect her. When you're a responsible man, the system doesn't need to protect your woman. That's your job. You protect your woman.
In what way? What does that mean? What does protecting your woman mean?
So,
or protecting, not your woman. What does protecting a woman mean?
Your woman. I wouldn't say women. Your job is not to protect your women. Your job is to protect your woman.
So is this the mindset that they have initially, even before the woman becomes their woman, that stops them from going?
So take, for instance, I'll use myself as another classic example. I'm the first child of 4 kids and the only son. So I have 3 younger sisters. The training that was drummed into my head when you are walking on the road, as the older brother and as a boy, you protect your sisters. Now, you can't now that, and I'm sure that in some way or the other, that also applies to your son, whether he's the younger one or the older one. He's physically stronger. So if anything happens, he's likely to be there to protect and defend his sister physically above anything else. Now, you cannot take that mentality that you are put in him from his childhood. When he now grows old, not saying that no, women don't need protection. That's no, the men, they can protect themselves. No,
So
it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Wait. Let me finish my thought. Now, it doesn't work that way in the sense that, this one, I'll push it for you now. I'll remove my jacket. This one, I'm not Coach Triple A. I want to talk now as Alex Adefemi. Now, it is, you look at it from the angle of, and I think I'm going to throw this out there for the women. And to me, and this is a gender clash moment. Now, I feel that women there's been all this talk about, okay, men this, the men should be like, the men should be like, the men should do this, the men should do this. But it seems to me that the women themselves are not sure exactly how they want the men to be. There's a way that you've trained them to be, and then by the time they grow older, you now say you want something else entirely from them, and you want it to be by magic to happen. It won't happen that way. It takes time. Now, there are some men who have been lucky enough to have found ways to train themselves, or found ways to be mentored and guided and trained and be able to evolve into the kind of man that works for the women of today. But a lot of the guys that were coming from behind all this while, and they weren't given that training, and so they're now you're now trying to tell them, okay, this is what they need to do, and then there's this whole agenda against how men should behave and how men should do, and the men is not doing that, the men not doing it. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, if they become those things, the women will still complain. That's why are you like this? You are too soft. You are not a man. You are not acting well. This is how men should act. That's the truth. Men in the house, if you agree with me, don't be looking at me. Comment on this thing. Let's talk about this matter now. Speak now or hold your peace. That's the matter. I'm troublesome. I know.
Out of your own mouth. Out of your own mouth.
I know.
So Ben, basically, one word. The man should better respond, because basically
respond,
what you're
telling
them,
respond.
Because what you're right now saying.
Not only Paco Don should be talking here. Let all the men talk. Speak your mind now. Let us trash this matter. I can speak out for you, and I'll tell us where we need to correct ourselves and where we need to be men. They cannot be telling us all these things and then they won't turn us to women. We're not women. We are men. And there's a way we do things and the way we operate, the way we are functioned. I was telling my wife the other day, women tend to, in their brain, seem as if they have like many compartments. A man's brain is like 4 compartments. They're not many. You don't want, like, you are here. We put you in like 4 places. You see that you are here, you can't be here and here. Women can put you here. But women, we are just here. If you are here, you are here. Face. We are very focused. We don't jump all around.
No, honestly,
so as much as differently, that's my point.
That is the point. As much as you're saying it and it's a joke, it sounds fun or whatever, it's actually the truth.
No, so I am saying the truth. I'm not saying it in a fun way, but I'm saying the truth.
No, so basically what you're saying is we have to do the re-education of men and women.
Yes.
So because you can't do one without doing the other. Yeah.
Because to be honest, when the woman earns more, from my own experience and what I have seen, it happens that sometimes the women don't manage the situation well and don't manage their relationship well enough as well when they're earning more. Don't get me wrong, it's 2 ways. The man too had his fault when she's earning more, and the woman too has a fault when she's earning more.
Let's do this. What would be your advice to a woman that is in a relationship with a man and she's earning more? That's one question. But I then want to speak to the sisters that are just minding their own business, being excellent in whatever they are doing, flourishing and growing. And the men are intimidated by that. Is it her fault?
Now, let me say this clearly. I support women thriving, and you know that about me. I love women who are successful. I have a lot of respect for them. I'm designing coaching. I design coaching programs for women who are successful. I have a whole coaching program for women leaders. If you're interested in it, you can reach out to me later. But the point is,
after I get my 10%.
Yes. So now, at the same time, I also think that one of the major problems we have in life is the lack of balance. If we could attain balance, a lot of us will live in peace and harmony. Things will work well. But you see, as human beings, because we are flawed as human beings, we're not perfect. All of us are not perfect. We always tend to tilt to one side too much of any matter. So when it comes to, that's what I'm saying, that when we say women are saying men are not doing this, men are doing this, but it looks as if the conversation is so heavy that it looks as if they're asking the men to now tilt to that side entirely. When they tilt to that side entirely, it will cause wala, it will cause problem. That's the truth. But if we can learn to find the balance, take for instance, for the man, one of our major major features is our ego. And listen, I wrote a poem about my ego. I am proud of my ego. I got a big ego, such a big ego. Want a big ego, too bad. I don't remember the lyrics of Beyonce's song.
You see why I told you to introduce yourself before, so that they know that you went to school, you have an education, you are qualified, you are a very professional somebody. You're not just some riffraff or ragamuffin down the road. Somebody says, reward James says true talk. Yeah. Don't encourage him.
James, let's talk about it. Now,
don't encourage him.
However, I tell men, our ego is a huge part of who we are. It's part of the reasons why we provide. It's part of the reasons why we go out and slave and push and try and provide, because of our ego as men. So God put ego there. It was not created by the devil. God gave us egos, and God will not give you something if He didn't have a reason for it. However, if you are you're not made for the ego was made for you. When you allow the ego begin to determine every decision you make, the ego will run your life down. So you must learn to be in check and in control of your ego. So I will give you another classic example, using myself again. I had a meeting once, years back, when we were planning my business retreat, and I was doing the virtual one this year. It's called Get Set. We're doing it in January. So if you follow me, you can look out for it, and you can get a discount as early as possible for sign up. Now, I do Get Set every year, and I do it at the Civic Center in Victoria Land in Lagos every year. And this particular one of the earlier ones we're doing, and my wife was always involved in the preparations and with my team, and she would come and join for preparations for Get Set and all that. So she's been ill for a few weeks, so she hadn't attended the meetings. So she came to this particular meeting, and then she sat down across. My wife at times would come to my office and sit down at my office table. I mean, I'll be sitting down. I might even sit on the floor herself, and she'll be running the show. So this particular day, and that was even as I had grown. I'm still talking about my own growth and my own evolving now here. Now, and I'm trying to say that I wasn't born this fantastic, wonderful husband guy. I wasn't born that way. I think I am a fantastic husband. Yeah, so I own it. I'm not even trying to pretend about it. I'm a fantastic husband.
As the young ones will say, manifest it. Go on, sir.
Young ones. Oh, good. And they don't know you're a small girl. They don't think you're one mama.
I'm a very small girl.
So now, back to what I was saying. So this particular meeting, she came into the meeting, and then she as we were discussing what we had discussed before, we're doing a recap at the beginning of the meeting. She just started poking holes into the whole thing. She was not around. So she, like someone that just came and just started seeing all the flaws in the plan. And why was this? And my wife can be a bit of a choleric. So she goes, why is this like this? And So make all of you look stupid. That all of you gather your head together, and this is what you come up with. And you know that kind of. I was sitting down on my executive office. This is me, my team, all my staff, and all. I mean, and as much as possible, I am not the bossy guy. All my staff love me. I believe they love me, and then we are friends. We gist, we talk, and we relate. We do stuff together. So, so I'm not the bossy type, but at the same time, I'm an alpha male kind of guy. You understand? So I'm somebody with a strong ego. So I sat there, I'm like, I should just poking holes, and I didn't want to look as if I was countering her in front of. So I said, excuse me, I need to ease myself. It was a lie. I was not easing myself. I went into the training room. We had the training room where we do trainings. I went to the training room and I said to myself, I said, God, come and carry this your daughter. Marky phone. I'll bet for what? She's making me look foolish in front of my staff now. What's all this nonsense now? I just went to Holy Spirit. I said, what's all this nonsense? What's all this now? The way she's talking. So all of us are stupid. All this thing we are working. This is me ranting by myself in the training room to Holy Spirit. So after I finished ranting, and the Holy Spirit does something to me. Every time I rant, I finish ranting. He will now quietly ask me a question and make my ranting look very, very stupid. So he said to me, so let me ask you, the things that she mentioned, were they right or wrong? I said, well, they are right. That's not the point. He said, wait, I'm asking you a question. Were they right or wrong? I said, they're right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the issue you have is the fact that the way she came and she was pointing, you're just poking holes at everything. I said, yes. And I felt disrespected. I felt like, so I had these meetings where, am I stupid? You mean that I've been doing this? I said, okay. So what if you go back out there and sit on your chair as the boss and say to her, everybody, all the things that Mrs. Moore has mentioned, work on those things, and let's work on those things and give a report to Mrs. Moore. Mrs. Moore, by Friday, I need a report from you. How would that make you feel? I said, I feel like a powerful man again. I said, fantastic, go and do it.
So before you run,
I did exactly what the Holy Spirit said. Now, if Holy Spirit, the highest intelligence in the world, knew that my ego needed to be stroked, how much more? So
basically what this is your point. This is your point so far that I've gathered.
Yes.
You do accept that society is a problem that's affected the men.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
But you are absolutely agreed that building your self-esteem and self-worth as a man is vital.
Yes, definitely.
So there's an understanding.
And then no matter how much you build your self-esteem and self-worth, sometimes you have your weak moments.
Yes.
It's all right to have those moments.
So a partner that's relating with you, that's in a relationship with you, should treat you like a 2-year-old. See?
That was not what we said. Because this matter we can twist it on the other way. The women too, they behave like babies at times, and they want to be treated like babies too. So we can twist this matter. That's not what I said.
I'll be fair.
Now that's the conclusion you saw to bring.
I'm fair. I was messing with you.
You see women.
Let me.
This is women. How we should be you women.
So basically, apply some wisdom when you are in a relationship. So with somebody, with a man that you're earning more than, just apply wisdom because of, like you've said, his natural ego that is there.
Yes.
And because what is more important in a relationship is not really about the money, it's the relationship. So whatever you need to do that can build that for the relationship to be cohesive and for all of you to benefit would be that stroking the ego and just to get the full picture. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I will mention 4 things that I feel that I want anyone watching this to take away. There are 2 things in that make a lot of times that have defined women's and men's decisions. For men, you find out that they talk a lot about the man's ego. For the women, they talk a lot about her being emotional.
Yeah.
So the same way a man needs to learn to manage a woman when, especially because of, there's a lot of reasons to it. There's scientific reasons that back a woman being emotional, right?
Yeah.
The same way you tell a man to learn to manage his woman rather, especially when she's being emotional. In fact, most cases manage women, especially when they're being emotional. because sometimes they can't help it. It's the same way you are asking women to manage men when they are being egotistical. It's both ways. That's one. Secondly, two things that are very essential in any relationship, any marriage. You found that is I call it the two M's: money and maturity. Now, what you want in a man is a man that has both. Oh, that's the ideal guy. He has money and he's matured. Oh, wow, he's the ideal guy. And the same thing applies to the woman. A woman who has money and is matured.
Yes.
Yeah, is an ideal woman as well. Now, when you have money in a relationship and you don't have maturity, it is a problem. When you have, as a woman, when you have the money but you don't have maturity, it's a problem. For the man, if you have or lack money and you don't have maturity, a major problem. But when you have maturity and you don't have money, it is still a lot of things are still very possible in that relationship. Because when you have maturity, you can manage situations till your money comes.
Yes.
Even if you don't. So as a man, I would say the key ingredient for you to succeed in any relationship is maturity. Money will always come and go. Sometimes you can marry a guy now, he's earning more and his business crashes or he loses his job. And then he's not earning for a year or so. It takes maturity in the side of the man to be able to still handle things and still be able to love his wife effectively and handle situations. Even when she flares up and acts out at times, it takes maturity from a man to handle it. There's a Yoruba saying, oh, I am money, suru laughing shoko birin, meaning it takes maturity to be a good husband. It takes maturity to be a good husband. It's a Yoruba saying. So if the elders that were the most egotistical and patriarchal men ever created,
that is a point. That is an absolute
they came
point.
out and said that the solution to being a good husband is maturity.
Maturity.
See, my mic. I dropped my mic.
No,
Obama style.
Look. You finished the matter
Obama
right
style.
on time. No. Thank you. That was a mic drop. That's so true. That is so true. I really, me and you, we can.
That's the culmination of everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whether it's the man or it's the woman, is maturity. Now, if it doesn't have maturity, and for a woman, don't lose sleep over it when some guys see that they can't approach you because they feel that you earn more. It means that they are not matured enough. And to be honest, if they come close to you,
run.
You won't like
run.
If you
run.
Get there, most cases, if you are the one that even proceeds, in some cases, maybe especially if you are a very mature person, you might be able to help him. But in their rare cases, to be honest, they're not very. From my own experience, and working with people, working with couples, working with business leaders. So, take for instance, I'll give you a classic example. In Africa, I have different clients who
only Coach Triple A will come and do my show over 1 hour. Please continue.
Now, in Africa, I have a lot of clients who are female, who are top of their game, who are business executives, these are business CEOs, and all those people. And I found something was prevalent, is that a lot of times they don't want their husbands to know that they are seeing a coach. And this is not just Nigeria, in Africa. I've had clients, top female ranking executives, female executives, CEOs, directors, top managers. And they don't, so a lot of times they will not do a session in the house. They rather do it in the office. And why do you think that is? Because of it's the reality on ground. What I'm saying to you is the reality of people are dealing with. So for them to be able to keep a happy home, they'll be wondering, why are you seeing a male coach? Or it could be that, why are you seeing, it could be different conversations. But they use wisdom to at least, I will find ways to grow without whatever. And as far as I'm concerned, that is an indictment on those men. It's not the fault of the woman. That's an indictment on those men. But the men in those cases are not my client. It's the woman that was my client. So I'm only going to see how I can help the woman improve better. In some of the cases, one of them actually did eventually see that she was seeing a coach, and then she wanted to come, and so the man came for my program. And when the man came, he called his friend that, this guy is hot. Come on, attend this guy's program.
I have somebody has asked for a request. Let me let her on.
Yes.
Oh,
Hi, Selena.
Angela, I'm actually at the airport on transit.
Because you asked for the request, that's why I thought you wanted to come in to speak.
No, I thought I needed to request to even join the live. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But it's really nice. I'm enjoying it, and it's really getting the point. Absolutely.
Thank you, Bear.
The key point, the key note there is maturity on both sides. Maturity on both sides. Otherwise, it's really difficult when both either the man or the woman lacks maturity. And then, just like the last one it just mentioned, is wisdom. In this life, everything is wisdom. Is the principal thing.
It's the principal thing.
Those two notes, those two are very important. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Selena.
Thank you.
I need you to, I don't know how to switch it off. You're gonna have to switch it off from your end. So you're gonna have to go off from your end.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. No, that's why I just thought to let her in. I know she hasn't done it. And I don't know. Okay, there you go. Yeah. You know, thank you, Selena. No, because trust me, that was for me a mic drop. Yeah. And that really encapsulates everything we've been saying today.
Yes.
Understanding the roots. And I must appreciate the way you have taking us down this journey and, really giving us a balanced view and coming to the crescendo of it and to let us know without maturity on both sides, whether she earns more, she earns less, whether you earn more,
you will struggle. You would, in fact, struggle. You in some cases, worst situations, women have been through hell because they went into a relationship not just when you earn more, when you have more resources. I was watching something on one of these Nigerian TV shows over the week. I saw the clips. I watched the clips at times, and they were talking about it's a women panel, and they were talking about a case of a man a woman who her brother wanted to buy her a car or bought her a car, and her husband was upset about it.
Oh yes, I think I heard that.
And to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, that is silly.
And it's not like he could afford to buy her a car.
It's her brother.
You see, I would have understood if he was like, no, I would have understood. I would have understood. Is
your brother?
It's your brother. I would have even said that. Okay, he might felt like, are you trying to tell me as an in-law? Hold on, that I can't do certain things for my wife. Okay, do you know what? Thank you for the car, and then buy her a car. But the fact that he couldn't even afford to buy her.
So I don't even, as far as I'm concerned, right? I don't even think that's even still petty. That version is still petty. As far as I'm concerned, if I want, as an egotistical alpha male that I am, if I was going to do it, I would collect that car, no problem. Just maybe a year down the road, I will change that car for you.
Oh.
When I change that car for you, your brother will look at it and say, guy, we are not fighting. That's how to do it. Don't be petty.
Just be getting upset for no reason.
You can't make everyone like that though. So you don't focus on all those kind of things.
A. I'm gonna round up.
I believe in being egotistical. I believe in also being an alpha male, but do it with prestige, with style. Don't be petty about it.
Do it with maturity.
Maturity. Thank you very much.
Do it with maturity. And I think you have. We didn't quarrel too much today. That's awesome.
Sure? We didn't quarrel.
No, we didn't quarrel. Not plenty. No plenty.
I'll go
No
and watch
plenty.
it again. I'm sure. I think I riled you up a few times.
Just a little bit, but no, it's absolute pleasure. You know, me and you, we can talk from now to tomorrow.
Yes,
You know,
so I even need to go and see what's happening with Arsenal, because on a good day, Arsenal is playing Liverpool right now,
and you're here,
and
I am privileged.
talking to this
I am so
beauty.
I am so
Can you
privileged.
imagine?
Oh my goodness!
I'm praying that
Thank you.
as
Thank
we are
you.
doing this, Arsenal is winning. That's the only thing that will
Always
compensate
win.
me.
Arsenal only wins when I don't watch. I don't know whether it's my problem.
It's true, me too. It kind of happens to me too. I kind of have the same vibe that will tend to me when I don't watch. So that's why I'm actually like, okay, Lord, as I am giving virtue of these people, Lord, help my boys on the pitch.
No, but it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Please just do a recap on, you said you have a program coming up in January for those that need to know.
So if you follow me on social media, I'm at Coach Triple A. You can find me there at Coach Triple A, triple with a single P. We have we're having our business retreats for business owners who are looking to grow their business in 2022, and we'll be having discussions in different angles on concerning how to be able to build a sales engine, how to create a system, or be able to improve your system and your structure so that it brings you more profit. And then we'll also be we're doing a forecast into the year, looking at different areas and how they can, what you should be preparing for going into business for 2022. Because the truth is, if you look at 2021, a lot of businesses you're just beginning to try and find their feet again, try to rise back up again because of 2020. But now 2022, it's about going for it. So it's called Get Set Business Retreat. It's going to be virtual, so you can join us from anywhere in the world. It's we're having speakers from across the world. So we're having speakers from different continents. We're going to have a speaker from one of our speakers is likely going to be from Europe. I wouldn't say the country yet, possibly Germany. We'll be having speakers from Canada. We'll be having speakers likely from Nigeria as well. We might have a speaker from the US as well. So these are professionals, coaches, and business owners who have been able to deliver results over the years. And then essentially during this time, they can be able to help you be able to, we're going to help you sit down and create a plan for your business on how you can grow it in 2022, how to move it forward in 2020. So the theme for this year is called Go For It.
Go for it.
So it's
and the program is called Go For It is the program.
Get Set
is the program.
I do it every year. It's a business retreat. The same one I said I used to do at Civic Center in Victoria Island, Lagos. So I do it every year, but this year's one is going to be virtual and might likely continue being virtual because I just love this virtual thing.
It's beautiful. I think it opens the world. It brings the world to you. So why not go for it?
Yeah. So there are no more boundaries. There are no boundaries for virtual. Literally anybody from any part of the world can join in, and then you can make your own space to be the hall. And then have a good time, learn a lot, and then still be able to attend to your family and not have to move around. So that's part of the beauties of it being virtual. But this is going to be virtual. It's going to be in January. Just check me out check my page.
Follow your page.
Yes, and then you'll be able to get all the information as
then anybody, as you sign up, remember to remind him, Angela, refined one, 10%, refined one, 10%. Who doesn't like money?
You come and sign up, Seth. You are going to sign up.
You want to invite me as a coach, as a speaker?
To come and sign up. Sign up first, and you become a speaker later. Sign up first.
It was a pleasure as always talking to you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My coach that I work with on some things when she's done with me, she just goes, mwah. So I'm learning to blow more kisses to people. Mwah.
Many.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, my darling.
Being here with you.
Absolute pleasure being with you.
So
let you go off.
Arsenal has won. Fingers crossed. Angela, you must bring me good luck. Fingers crossed.
Don't join Angela with Arsenal matter, please. Just go and watch your Arsenal.
What's that supposed to?
Go and watch your Arsenal. Just go and watch your Arsenal.
My wife was an Arsenal fan. She moved to Man City.
I'm still an Arsenal fan. Good. Well, please don't put my name inside the matter.
Imagine she followed Man to Man City. Was Pep Guardiola. Is that true? Hold on. Are you for real? Are you for real? Is that true? I'm going. We'll talk later. I need to go and watch this. I hope this is true.
Oh yeah, go. See you, my dear.
Kisses.
Bye.
Kisses.
Thank you, Alex. Oh my God, that was the final finale for this month. Thank you so much, Alex. Liverpool won. Oh Lord. Well, I hope he's going to feel better about it when he eventually sees it. But thank you so much. Thanks everybody that's come on this month, looking after the men, listening to the men. I hope we've said something this month. If you haven't seen all the other lives, please go and watch the other lives that has been on this month. Let us celebrate our men. Let us listen to them. Let us give them the opportunity to be vulnerable. And mothers that are raising young sons, let's remember that, mothers and fathers, not just mothers, but, we know it's the mothers that start it off. Let's remember to help in changing this narrative, in helping and building this narrative of building their confidence, building their self-esteem, letting them know that what it is to be a man is not just about them being earners and providers. That being men is a whole bigger forum, and then understanding their vulnerabilities. So I really do hope you guys have had fun, enjoyed this. There might be one more before the end of the month. I'm not quite sure about that. I need to get some confirmation. If not, I shall be here maybe next Saturday. And it might just be only me, or I might open it up to a couple of people and we'll have a chat. So till then, ciao everybody. Bye. Thanks for stopping by.